The Japan has themselves a new super featherweight champion. The IBF champion is now Kenichi Ogawa. Ogawa. And right here, I am Mr. A, and this is the Double RT Boxing Show. And this is the post-fight recap of the bout. Kenichi Ogawa defeating Tevin Farmer by I believe it was a majority decision. Now, I forgot what it was, but he defeated him. I think it was a split decision. I do believe it was a split decision. Now, HBO felt it was a robbery. I had this fight 7 rounds to 5 for Ogawa. I had rounds 1, 3, 5, 6. Yes. And 12 for Farmar. I had rounds 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 4, and 2 for Ogawa. Now, round 2 could have been a toss up, but I gave it to Ogawa. If you would have gave it to Farmer, it would have been a tie for me. It would have been a draw. Now, the first 3 rounds, even in round 2 where I gave it to Ogawa, Tevin Farmer's hand speed was tremendously a visual difference. Not only his hand speed, but his back foot defense had Ogawa off rhythm all night. So he was able to make Ogawa either reach across the gap or just not even be there to be hit. Now, what happened was, to me, how I scored the fight, Ogawa really only had the 1-2 and occasionally a left hook to the body. So you can see a lot of action from Farmer, punches, hooks, check left hooks that he really got a hold of in round 5. But what you slowly start seeing was and Max Kellerman kind of kept touching on this. As good as Farmer is, he's not good at mixing what he is good at. He's either on offense or he's on defense. And to me, that flaw of not being able to mix them cost him 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those 4 rounds in a row. Now, like I said, round 1, completely speed, defense. Ogawa just couldn't catch him enough, couldn't land a clean shot. Round 2, Ogawa was a little more aggressive, landed more. Farmer came with a 20-second flurry at the end, but I gave it to Ogawa. Then round 3, Ogawa couldn't reach him. Farmer wasn't doing nothing serious, just back foot defense, tagging him with some occasional point jabs, nice little body touches. And around 4, I gave it to Ogawa because I believe whenever Farmer lost a round, it wasn't because he didn't land offensively. His switch, you can tell the fact that he can't mix defense and offense like fluently. You can tell when he wasn't in control of the round. You could tell when he was hit, like when he was on fire. You could tell he's scoring points and he's doing defense. Making Ogawa miss, and he'd come back. And then the rounds I gave Ogawa, you could tell when he's on defense, when he's in trouble, when he's avoiding, and he's not firing back. So it's a difference between making punches miss and doing something for defense than trying to survive and you're in trouble defense. It's to me that's how I score fights. So round five, Ogawa was putting on some pressure, but Tevin Farmer came with some nice step back check left hooks. Just busted his eye open like at the last 30 seconds. Two of them cut Ogawa's right eye, but the corner did a good job. The right eye, I should say, did a good job. Kept that pretty much under control. And then round six, um, Farmer took. He was aggressive. You know, he scored points with his hand speed. Never really landed anything too tremendous. Like, oh, you see this shot, you see that shot. And same with Ogawa. It was nothing. It was just either a 1-2 or right hand. But I said in round 7, 8, and 9, and 10, and 11, Ogawa just was doing the same thing he was doing all night. He just eventually he started landing more rights, and it put Farmer in a defensive mode more without no offense in return as much. So you got to see uh, a way where it went from Farmer's offense scoring points, winning the fight, then to then go into defense making a miss to the point where Ogawa was finally getting effective aggression and scoring his own offense, being with the pressure, and it turned Farmer from being offensive point getting to defensive recovering to just on defense with not firing back with offensively for points. It was like stay away from me type punches, and the punches weren't having the same effect on them. It just wasn't controlling the round how Farmer's offense was in the previous rounds. You saw a tide change. You saw the shots having effects differently on the fighters. So watching how the flow of the punches and how the bodies were reacting, I was judging it like that. So I gave 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 to Ogawa. Like I said, Farmer was doing good, but it just the flow of his his fight was different. His shots weren't like he landed some good hooks here and there, but just the overall flow of every round, the output and the outcome of his offense was just different. That smooth, like I said, that the transition showed. I saw what Max was talking about. He couldn't switch it on. It's either he was on defense so much, he had little outbursts of offense, and it wasn't enough for the pressure Ogawa was putting on. Some rounds, I believe Tim Farmer, he was exhausted. I think around 10 and 9 maybe, he was exhausted. He was trying to do a little bolo punching, a little showing off here. His corner kind of got in his ass on that, like, hey, cut that out. Oh man, I need something to drink. I need to again. But eventually, I saw it was a change in the tide where Tevin Farmer just got too tired. He couldn't go back and forth. Like I said, he don't do it smooth, but for him, he was doing it okay the first 5 rounds. But the second half of the fight, he went back to more defense and not enough offense. And when his offense, like I said, when his offense did land, it wasn't the same effect to it. It wasn't controlling rounds, you know. While the tide turned Ogawa's pressure, the offense, his punches that were landing, they were changing the momentum of the rounds as they were going. That's my opinion. I am the host of this channel, Double RT Boxing. Ready to talk about I am Mr.A. And I had the fight 7 rounds to 5. And do I believe Tevin Farmer will probably win the rematch? I do. I think he'll win pretty easy. I think he's going to learn tremendously from this loss. just how Lomachenko learned from his loss of Salido. I believe this was Tevin Farmar's Salido match. Tevin Farmer is going to be such a better fighter because of this match. He's going to learn how to switch and conserve his I guess his stamina. I don't know if his stamina is the problem a little bit, but he's going to be a more fluid fighter, a more polished all around boxer. Because he was doing really good. It just one side of his game was favored. It was either 60% offense, 40% defense. Then it went 40%, or then it went 60% defense, 40% offense. And when it went 60% defense in the second half of the fight, that 40% offense didn't win him the fight for me. I didn't have him. He did have to me, he had the lead. He had rounds 1, 3, and 5, and 6. He just lost the lead. He dipped. To me, he dipped bad into defense, and like I said, his punches just didn't have the same round change and round winning effect. You know, they weren't the same shots. You know, and if they were the same shots, they weren't the same results as Ogawa's same shots were now getting. So it was just, to me, it was a change of a tide between the two fighters. So I had it a fair. I was actually surprised they gave it to him, to be honest. I was very surprised they gave it to Ogawa, but I scored it that way. So this is Mr. A saying, hope you enjoy the show. See you on the next episode, and thank you for your time and support. Have a good night.